Want to be more productive? Self-care. Burned out? Self-care. Want to optimize your days? Self-care. It really is the answer to more than just what you should do at the end of a bad day. Hey, and welcome back to my channel where you are what matters. Today I'm going to be talking about self-care, what it really is, how it works, and how you can create a routine for yourself. And if you're new around here and you want more motivation, more confidence, and less stress, now's a great time to go down and hit the subscribe button below. If you found me online, either via my videos or my emails or my blog, it's likely because you got interested in something that I put out about stress or burnout. I continue to be astonished at how much traffic comes to my blog via a post that I wrote over 2 years ago about burnout. It is always one of the top 3 most viewed page, and it is the most viewed page on my entire website. While I feel really good about the fact that that post has resonated with so many people and hopefully has helped a lot of people too, it hurts my heart that so many people need that post. So today I'm going to be talking about one of the top 3 tools that I use to dig myself out of burnout, and that's self-care. Part of the reason that I got into burnout was because I had just had a baby, and then the next month we moved to a new house. Exhausting doesn't even begin to describe how I was feeling. On top of all of that, I was still trying to keep my Etsy shop afloat at the time, and I was nursing my daughter at night, so I didn't stop all day long, and I was not sleeping the whole night through. I was clearly not getting enough sleep or rest at all during the day. And on top of it, I was barely getting a shower, and I was doing nothing else for myself at all. My life wasn't just busy, it was out of control. My plate wasn't just full, it was piled sky high to the point that it got so out of control that it fell over on me and crushed me. And of course, the one thing that should have been on my plate that would have helped me manage this ridiculous situation was self-care. Self-care is one of those things that makes more time than it takes. Yes, of course, taking care of yourself takes time, but by taking care of yourself, you are able to get so much more done because you're feeling so much better than you would have been able to if you skipped the hours of self-care and tried to put them into work instead. It's when we don't take care of ourselves in favor of banging out one more report or just getting one more thing that things start to slip. You're more tired, you're more stressed, you can't focus, you have no energy, and now you can't get as much done in the same amount of time as you would have if you were feeling well. So what happens? You start to get behind because you're not being as productive as you were before. So now you need to play catch up. And now the couple of hours a day that you were using for self-care go out the window. They might become a couple hours a week instead of a couple hours a day. And then the next thing you know, it's a couple hours a month. And then it's a couple hours of never. The irony is, of course, that the reason that you don't have time for these things anymore is because you're operating at such a low level of efficiency that it takes you so much longer to get anything done than it did before. Just like you would do maintenance on a car, you need to do those things for yourself in order to keep going as efficient as possible. If you ignore them for long enough, you're gonna just break down. If you push them so far to the side that you're barely doing any, but it's enough to keep you going, you might still be getting something done, but it's certainly not going to be in any kind of optimum level. The problem is, though, that people hear this word self-care and they think that it's expensive, that it's time-consuming, or that it's just extra. Self-care doesn't have to be any of those things unless you want it to be. If you like pedicures, I love pedicures, and I cannot wait until I can pay somebody to do that for me again. But if you like them, then do them. If you love massages, then go for it. Certainly a week in a tropical island, as soon as we're allowed to travel again, sounds like a great self-care thing. But just remember that 1 week a year does not make up for all of the self-care that you need to be doing every single day. But self-care might be none of those things for you. It could be drawing or jewelry making or cooking or gardening or making sure that your bird feeder has enough food in it so you can watch the birds while you're doing dishes. Okay, yeah, that last one is oddly specific, and it's because that's one of the things that I consider self-care. I love seeing the birds out the window. They make me happy, so I actually consider making that bird food part of the self-care, and when I kind of don't feel like doing it, I make sure that I get it done because I know that it's going to make my heart happy. As you can see, you don't have to have hot tea in a book unless you want hot tea in a book. What matters is this, that it fits your life. It helps you mitigate your stress. It's something that you will continue to do because once just isn't enough, and it doesn't add more stress to your life. If getting to the yoga studio means that you have to sit forever in frustrating traffic, is that really going to help you? Just because something works for your BFF or your coworker or that random lady on the subway doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. Take some time, try some things. If you don't like them, it's okay, shake it off and try again. But seriously, have fun trying to work out a routine. Trying things out might actually be one of the funnest parts of developing a self-care routine. I'm going to say it again. If something does not work for you, don't feel the least bit worried about dropping it and trying something different. One of the things about self-care, though, is that you can't just take care of one part of you. You can't just make sure that you exercise but completely ignore your mental health. Or you can't make sure that you eat well but then bury all your feelings. So the tips that I'm going to be giving you today cover physical, mental, and emotional. What I will say is that various parts of your self-care routine will have various effects, and there's something that you're going to want to take stock of. Some people will work out and feel completely exhausted, and that helps them just take a shower and go to bed. Some people will work out and feel totally invigorated and then get 2 to 3 hours of really good productivity time. I am not saying that every self-care item is used for the sole purpose of being more productive and getting more stuff done. No, that is how I went to burnout. What I am saying is that we all have things that we need to get done, and so we might as well be in the best frame of mind to get those things accomplished. I have tried so many times, but I suck at working out first thing in the morning. I would love to wake up at 7 a.m., hop out of bed and run downstairs and get my hour workout done for the day. But that is just not how my body works. I am useless, and a lot of times my workouts that happen in the morning suck. So what I do instead is do them later in the afternoon when I am more ready and more able to get them accomplished. This is something that I have optimized for myself, but I know that I need to work out for a whole lot of other reasons. And productivity, honestly, is one of those reasons, but it is not the only reason. The first area that I'm going to be talking about is physical. And while I know a lot of you know a lot of these things and you've heard them 1,000 times, I am also sure that a lot of you are not doing any of them really. And I'm sure that a lot of you aren't doing some of them. And there's some aspect of your physical well-being that maybe is not at its best. I am not saying this because I want you to look a certain way. I am saying this because I want you to feel a certain way. I want you to be at your very best, and your brain rides around in your body and you can't get anything done if you don't feel good. First is some form of exercise. Light or heavy, fast or slow, running, walking, tai chi, tai bo, weights, HIIT, don't care. Get some kind of physical activity, at least 20 minutes, 3 days a week. Find something that you enjoy and go for it. Another one is stretching. And I separate this specifically from exercise because a lot of people do like 2 minutes before and after of stretching, and it's not enough. If you are in the older set and you wake up stiff in the morning, then you might want to add some stretching to your routine. But everybody, the tall and the small, should be getting some kind of stretching. The next one is eating healthfully. And I am not here to tell you what kind of foods that you should be eating. All I'm saying is less drive-through and more vegetables. Do what works for you. If a food doesn't agree with you, get it out of your life. If it makes you feel icky, try to eat it less. Personally, I consider my meal prep time, which I don't necessarily enjoy while I'm doing it, but I really, really love having that food ready during the week, and that helps my mental stability through the week. So I consider meal prepping as one of my self-care items. If it's something that helps you maintain your sanity throughout the week, that's self-care. Another few quick ideas for physical are maintaining regular checkups with your doctor. It's a hell of a lot easier to walk in when you're feeling maybe not so good than it is to have to be carried in by a stretcher. The next one is to get enough sleep. And you can tell me all you want how great you function on 4 to 5 hours, and I will still tell you, give 7 a night a try for a month and tell me you don't feel better. Now on to the mental self-care practices. The first one is to get a mindfulness practice. There are tons and tons of different kinds of mindfulness practices. Some of them include meditation, some of them include journaling or gratitude. There are apps and books and classes. Find something that works for you to help you keep grounded in the here and now. The next one is to prioritize your to-do list. Don't spend your life doing the things that are important to everyone else and ignoring the things that are important to you. I'm going to link the video that I did in the cards about how to prioritize your to-do list so that you are focusing on the things that are important to you and getting those things done first. The next one is figuring out how to fill your gas tank. There are things in your life that are going to drain your energy away, and there are things that are going to give you energy. You need to spend more of your time on the things that give you energy than the things that drain you, or you will end up stressed out, burned out, miserable. So make a list of the things that you do on a regular daily or weekly or even monthly basis and write down which ones give you energy and which ones take energy. If there are more things that take energy from you, then you need to reevaluate how you're spending your time. 2 more ideas are working with your body's ultradian rhythm, which is basically when you want to take a break, and making sure that you get up and take breaks when you need them. At the very least, this means taking breaks every 90 to 120 minutes that are at least 15 minutes. And number 2 would be learning something new. Get a hobby, read a nonfiction book, take a class, anything that's going to stretch your mind in new ways of thinking. And on to the emotional. The first one is to simply find someone to talk to. A friend, a therapist, a coworker, a family member. Someone that is going to listen, to help you talk through, to help you work through anything that you're struggling with. A lot of times we go to people to vent and complain, and that can actually help to some extent. But if that's all we do, then we just get into this negative pattern. Find someone that's willing to listen to you and you listen to them, vent and complain, but that will then help you work through your problems so that you are using your energy in a constructive way and helping improve your life. The next one is to set boundaries at home, at work, with your family, with your friends, whatever needs to happen. Know very specifically what you are willing to do for other people, what you're willing to deal with from other people, and don't allow those boundaries to be crossed. Draw them in the sand and talk to other people about them. They are extremely important to helping your emotional well-being and to make sure that people are not trampling all over you. Third is to practice gratitude. And when we say practice gratitude, we sort of think about thinking about something we're grateful for. But practicing gratitude means doing something. Yes, it is a great way to stop your negative thoughts, to stop and think of something that you're grateful for, but it's even better to write it down. And then if that involves somebody else, it's even better to go forward and to say thank you or write a thank you note or do something kind for another person. They're sort of levels. One is good, one is better, one is best. And not only is it great for your mental well-being to write a thank you note, you're then putting that kindness out into the world and affecting somebody else's life as well. Some other ideas for emotional well-being are to watch something funny. Nothing busts stress or boosts your moods quite like laughing. Also, spend real quality time with those you love. Put your phone down, have a conversation, play a board game. Eventually, when we can, go out to dinner. Keeping those connections is vital to your well-being. And make time to take your time. If you're always rushing around, inhaling your food, pounding your coffee, you're gonna miss all the little moments, like watching the birds out the window while you're doing the dishes. Of course, all of these ideas are in no way, shape, or form even remotely scratching the surface of all the ideas that are out there for you to take care of yourself. This was just to give you a rough idea of some things that could get you started. And so my question of the day is, what is your favorite self-care practice? I would love to hear it down in the comments. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead down and hit the like button, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well so you don't miss a video. If you're looking for more information, check out the show notes below because I have a link to the article that I wrote about this topic, and it has a list of all of the physical, mental, and emotional ideas that I gave you today. Also, there'll be a link for my 5 Days to Less Stress program that will help you unload all of that stuff that's been getting on your plate and making you crazy. And there'll be a link so that you can get on my calendar for your free one-on-one call with me. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.